Yep, I started a new audio recording.
Me too. Me too. Let's do our clap.
All right,
One, two, three.
three, and we're back.
We're back.
Hello.
How was your weekend, man?
Uh, do you know I've been like taking a couple online classes and then right now I'm working in a lab. So I got really lucky.
Yeah,
My professor, he's this
yeah.
like
I kind of want
seven.
to hear about the lab thing. I don't think we really talked about it.
Yeah, he's this like my professor is this like 7-year-old guy who's like super chill. Like I think we're supposed to do like some training and stuff when he came in, but he's like, nah, who cares about that? And he like let us in day one. And what was really funny was, first day I came in, I've been emailing this guy for about 2 months, but he was really on and off with email. So I assumed he was just like really old and didn't know how to work tech, right? So like at one point he just like ghosted me for a month and then kept talking. But it turned out I showed up there, I think last Tuesday. First day I walk in the back room with there's like a bunch of aquariums, and I'm like, "Hi, my name's Rishabh." And then he points to another kid in the corner of the room, who's like 5'10" Indian kid. He's like, "No, that's Rishabh." It turns out he'd been emailing two Rishabhs, thinking we were the same person the entire time.
Are you serious? So he accidentally hired two people?
Yes. So he hired both of us, right? So when I got there, it was like the Spiderman meme moment where he's like, "I'm Rishabh." No,
That's
that's Rishabh.
that's gotta be some guy. Hey, at least I don't know. Maybe you made a friend. I guess
No,
that's.
but what's crazy,
It was,
right, is I went to a different like kindergarten in like first grade from where I went for the rest of elementary school because my brother went there too. I went to kindergarten with this kid, and then I haven't seen him for
oh,
like 10 years, 12 years, 11 years now that we're going into 12th grade. I haven't seen him since
oh
kindergarten.
shit! It was meant to be. It was small world. But yeah, I think I saw him on your story today, man. You guys had the water gun, and then you were pumping into a sink. What was up with? So just tell me about
Oh,
like what kind of research are you doing?
it's kind of boring, but it basically I get to take care of a bunch of marine animals. So we have two lobsters. One is named Tom, the other is named Sally. Then we have a bunch of hermit crabs, and we have a couple tanks for those. And I remember day one, I got there, and then my professor basically like fumbled through an explanation of like telling us what to do with each tank, how to like set up a saltwater tank, which is annoyingly complicated. But what was
Oh
funny is
yeah.
that the two high school interns, which was supposed to be one person, I guess, but he hired both of us. The two high school interns we started before the college grad students who were getting paid, right? And our professor was too
Yeah.
lazy to explain the grad students about the research or anything. So day one, he sat in his office, told me and the other Rishabh to explain to the grad students what we're doing and all the experiments and stuff.
How did that go over, man? You have two 17-year-olds telling you what to do, and you're like 20, 24 or something. Like,
He's like
I
22.
don't know how I'd react to that, but
They're
like,
both
come on.
they're both really chill. We got lucky.
Wait,
I
so you're
remember.
working with two other grad students?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a 5-person operation in total,
Yeah,
including
including
the
the
professor. I
professor.
mean,
Yeah.
is he active, or is he just kind of
He's
guiding
very
you?
he's very active. What's funny is he wears like the same thing every day. Like I remember the first day I pulled up, I wore like a nice polo shirt, wore like some black
Yeah,
jeans. I'm like, okay, can you look
gotta look
professional?
professional.
I walk in, he's wearing shorts and like a blue t-shirt. Not even a t-shirt, just a blue shirt. It was like, hey guys, and he wore the exact same pair of shorts every day for the like rest of the week, like the same pair of like brown khaki shorts.
I don't know, man. He probably just got a closet full of them. This is at Chapman, right? I don't want to expose.
Yeah, nah, it's a university. Nah, but yeah. So the drive there is kind of annoying. But what I discovered is that it's faster to take like the street route than the freeway because I have to go. I'm like getting there from like 9 to 1 and like leaving at 5 sometimes. So it's
Oh
like
yeah,
peak
that's rush
traffic.
hour.
So like on the 5, it's literally slower to drive on the 5 than to like take the street route.
Yeah, man. So you basically working like a 9 to 5
Not a
right
not
now, and
sometimes I'll work in 4 hour shifts. Some days he'll ask me to go in more. So 1 to 5 or like 9 to 1, that kind of thing.
that's nice. That's nice.
How about you? What
But
what
yeah, man, that's cool.
what job goals have
Uh,
you had?
what job goes? I guess looking for volunteer work in my hopeful profession. So sort of in the research phase of that. I haven't really been gainfully employed since like February when I quit my job, but maybe I'll get back into food service if I can't find any volunteer.
How was your previous job, the boba place?
Oh, it was fun. I mean, God, I gotta give like credit. Like my boss was super nice. I love him. My manager's all nice. I had my friends there as coworkers, so that was great. It was a little boring, you know. I'd have like 5-hour shifts, and I would only see like 10 people come into the store. So you know, there were times where it was like a little draggy, but you know, we were making at the time minimum wage was like $14, and we were making 16. So it was a pretty good deal. But you know, I had to get out for my season. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Mister. What were you? The top 9 in the state? That's insane. Top 9.
No.
Top 11.
At my peak, I was 11th, but then after the injury, I think I dropped to like in the 30s or something.
Yeah, but, only top 11 in this state. My bad. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's not that impressive. But thank you. And I don't know, man. I guess I gotta say, like, junior year in review as a whole. What you thinking? I think this is the one that people dread a lot. But
I think like the best way to describe it for me socially was I had more fun when hanging out with my friends, but I had less time to do it.
That's a good way of putting it. I mean, how many APs you take this year?
I took 5, took 6 exams.
Jesus. So it was micro and macro, right? You took that extra one.
Yeah, that okay, so I have a story about that AP exam day. Basically, I had to take the A-Push and AP Micro exam at a different school from my school normally because they were just so close to each other that I wouldn't be able to like take A-Push at my school and then like drive to another one. So I took them like 10 minutes apart. I walk in to take the A-Push exam and everyone at the different school I'm at starts pulling out their laptops. I'm like, hey, what's going on?
Oh my God.
And it turns out they took the A-Push exam online. But no one told me. Like, no one told me they were taking this, right? So I walk in with, like, my 2 black pens and, like, a couple pencils ready to do my multiple choice, right? Everyone starts pulling out laptops. And then this, like, woman on, like, a loudspeaker, because there's, like, 200 kids, is like, if you do not have a Chromebook or a laptop, you will not be allowed to take the test. So I'm, like,
that's insane.
Like, freaking out, right? So, like, I, like, walk up to the person with like, this megaphone and be like, hello, I'm from a different school. No one told me. What do I do?
I mean... At that point, what can you do, right? Like, you just gotta...
So I sprinted to the library, and then they traded my ID for a computer. But the thing is, you needed your College Board login, right? And I forgot my password. So in the line, getting into the room, I changed my password on my phone and was praying that, like, it properly reset on my computer for when I'd have to, like, actually take the exam.
Dude. I mean...
Yeah, but for me, like, after... So... I start taking the test. I take it online. That was a weird experience. But the thing is, taking AP exams online sucks because the like servers crash, right? It's kind of like with Be Real, how when that app was really big, when everyone would like when the notification would go off and everyone takes it, it'd be super laggy. It's because you're flooding the servers. You're telling every user of your app to go to it at the same time. Like you're asking the server to die. It's the same thing with the College Board, right? So they're running on like whatever was made in 1992 and just no one's able to get in. So I had to like swap out my laptop 2 times. And after we finally got it running, we started the exam like 20 minutes late. But I had 2 exams back to back that had a 10-minute difference. So I get out of A-Push late, right? And then I sprint into the room that's like already starting the micro exam and like unwrapping the papers and stuff. But the thing is, I also had another friend, Claire, who was taking it too, right? And her room took even longer to take the A-Push exam. So we were just waiting for her for like 15 minutes to start. But what sucked was that it meant me and her couldn't eat lunch until like 3 or 4 p.m. that day.
So you took 3 like 2.5-hour exams, just not eating anything?
Or yeah, I took 3.5-hour exams, no food.
Damn.
And then someone stole my coffee cup. I brought like one of those like coffee mugs, like the steel ones, right? And I like put it on the table. Someone took it thinking it was theirs, bro.
Dude, that sucks, man. I don't know. What school were you at? I don't want to shit talk, but what school were you at?
I was at Woodbridge.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I would. I would expect for you to get something stolen out there, man.
Bro, it was just my
I
coffee mug. I just needed to get through the test.
yeah. Shit, man. Speaking of, I don't want to spend too much time on tests, but we both took the SAT on the same day
Oh yeah.
a couple of weeks ago. What'd you think about that, man? It was your second one, wasn't it?
Yeah. Math was not too bad. Writing was pretty easy. Reading sucked. Reading really
Yeah.
sucked.
Oh yeah, man. I was like, I remember I had like 13 questions left, and then the proctor called like 7 minutes, and I didn't know what to do, bro. I was like, I panicked, but
Yeah.
shit.
Let's stop stressing about tests. So let's go back to junior year in rap. What was your
Yeah.
favorite memory? Favorite memory.
Favorite memory. God, I
I'm thinking
I
back
gotta
to
say
the
the San Fran trip.
Yeah, San Fran trip, bro.
I gotta. That was, dude. That was so. That one day we just kind of bounced around all those monuments, doing all that, the mini golf, out there in the pier, the aquarium. I don't know, dude. That was so fun.
My wallet hurt, but it was so much fun.
Yeah, spent a little too much money.
Because
But,
me and you were the only ones who had like debit cards, right? So
oh yeah, that's true.
So we were getting
it was
cash
on
back,
us.
right? But like our accounts were being drained like $100 each time we ate a meal as a group of like 4 or 5 people.
Yeah, man. And then went to that Boudin, that sourdough place. Shit, I remember the bill was like $150 for that. And there was only 4 of us, so I forgot who took it. But yeah. But nah, it was fun. What about you? Favorite memory?
Honestly, I'm thinking like San Fran trip probably, or maybe just like at some point just like driving with some friends and like singing songs in a car probably. Like as
Oh
like,
yeah, no, for
as
sure.
odd as that sounds, kind of the small.
No,
things.
but just kind of being like, being yourself. You're getting to drive out, right? It's, been able to just kind of go out and be free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
But
I've had
that San Francisco trip, bro. There's some crazy things that happened there, and I remember.
Oh
like,
yeah, man.
we got lucky. Do you remember what happened to me with the buses? I got
You were
stuck on the senior
weren't you
bus.
on your own? Yeah.
And I
were
was
on the
by
senior-
myself with every single senior, and I was the only junior on my bus.
That sucks, man. Yeah, dude, our entire room, bro, we forgot to sign up for the buses, so we all just got split up, kind of. But,
Dude.
damn. How was that, 8 hours?
8
hours
hour
with the
bus
senior.
ride next to a bunch of
I mean,
seniors. I'm like,
you got to make some friendships on that, right? Come on.
yeah, I just sat next to the only other Indian kid in band.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But
Yeah. No, I mean,
I remember day one when I took you guys to the Indian restaurant. So we get there.
Yes.
So
Can we leave?
yeah. So we get to this hotel at like
Yeah.
how late did we get there? It wasn't too late. It was like maybe 8.
It was
9?
it was pretty close to curfew. It was like a 9 or something. I
Curfew
feel
was
like.
11, right?
Like curfew was 10:30.
Confused 10:30. Okay.
Maybe
So,
it was like 8:30 or something. We didn't have a lot of time.
yeah. So immediately we like unpacked our stuff in our rooms. We checked out the hotel, and then we looked for restaurants nearby. And immediately I see on my phone there's a place called Curry Leaf. Meanwhile, I'm the only brown guy. My 3 roommates were 2.5 roommates are white. Juju's yeah. Right. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'll take these guys to an Indian restaurant. So we walk down like the most sketchy alley possible to get to
Oh my
this
God.
to get to this Indian restaurant. I go in and
Yeah.
then I want to try and impress my friends, right? So I order in Hindi. I order in Hindi to this like Indian cashier guy at the cashier who's Indian. He's maybe like 26. He then repeats my exact order to the cook in Spanish. And then I just see this dude in like a blue baseball cap come out and start cooking the food.
Damn, you know what? That he was cooking though. That food was amazing. I mean, I know you afterwards you did say it was like D tier, but to me that was
It was like C tier.
that was really, because that, like, for the amount of money it cost, it was perfect.
I just remember I got you guys
And then
hooked
we
on, like,
ran
mango
into-
lassi.
Yeah, all that, bro. Dude, And then we ran into the music teachers afterwards, and then you kind of
Yeah, while we were walking out, we ran into our music teachers who also went there, and they asked me for what order they preferred.
yeah.
And I think it
They,
saved me for the rest of the semester grade-wise, because they love the food.
Yeah, that was it was a chance encounter, but it was great. I mean, you remember going to In-N-Out, right? After the parade.
Oh yeah, you were still in your marching band uniform.
I was still in my pants, and then we had to run over there, and yeah, bro. I met my cousins out there. They live up there, so I met my cousins out there. But yeah, that trip as a whole was great. I mean, everything we did was just so fun.
Yeah,
it sucks we can't do it next year, but we got other things to look forward to. But I don't know, man. I mean, I guess out of 10, junior year, just all in all things considered, it's such a broad question, I know, but just like if you had to say,
I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
8.5. That's I gotta go like a 7.2 for me. It's like there's plenty of bad, plenty of good.
Yeah, wait, actually, I'm trying to think back. Second semester was much better for me. I'm just trying to think back.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I guess difficulty wise, but I feel like I'm always kind of a first semester person. I like that first semester because you just got so much football season, not just high. It's got NFL too. Got the marching band. I don't have to stay late for practice. I love my sport, but I like going home early.
Me too. Don't worry.
And just kind of generally more high energy. But this time next year, imagine that. We're gonna be gone.
That's crazy. Well, we won't be gone by this time, but we're gonna know where we're going.
Well, yeah, but it's we won't be in high school anymore. I don't know, man. It's God, I'm trying not to think about colleges too much, but you just can't help it, It's like
I think the exciting aspects of it, right? Where it's like the exciting aspects of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's just like a lot of stress that comes around it, and I feel like college applications literally like takes like some of the worst like parts of people out. Like you can see who's trying to be more competitive, and I feel like some people are like bringing each other up versus like stepping on other people's shoulders to get themselves up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I mean, God, I don't even want to think about essays, dude. And it's
don't worry. We still got time. It's June 13th.
Especially with like scholarships and stuff, like those get competitive, and they only take so many like people out of certain areas, certain demographics. So, God,
this kind of goes into like the Harvard thing, right? Where it's the big affirmative action lawsuit that's probably
let's get into that. Here, I can bring up an article. We could get some background on it.
Well, I know that the basic idea of it is that Harvard's being sued in a massive lawsuit against affirmative action, and everyone thinks that the it's basically going to pass, and that in the Supreme Court, affirmative action will be banned across the U.S. This means for people of majority Asian and even white Caucasian descent, admissions into elite universities will be much easier. That's kind of
Supreme Court will hear challenge to affirmative action at Harvard and University of North Carolina. This is mainly about Asian Americans. There was that. Do you know what that guy's name is? I forgot, but he was Edward Blum.
Yeah, Edward Bloom. That dude is like.
Or Edward Bloom. Yeah, yeah. Shit, it's spelled Blum, bro. I was doing it phonetically, but he's leading it. I mean, God, this has been an issue. I'm not saying it's.
I don't think we're the most qualified people to talk about it, but I think my 2 cents on it are like.
Oh, for sure.
If it passes, it'll be good for us. For society as a whole, that's a whole nother discussion that I don't think I am eloquent enough to describe. But I think it'll be really
Yeah,
interesting to see, because it'll likely be abolished, to see how that impacts our admission cycle.
I know, right? I mean, it's coming at that time. It's it's gonna be there. So we'll just have to wait and see. I don't know when the court date is, but we'll know soon enough. I mean, I guess like race quotas are bad.
Okay,
That's
technically
nobody's.
race quotas are illegal right now. So that's like MIT saying we need 7 black people. Like, no, that doesn't exist. That used to be a
Okay,
thing.
well,
But it's
yeah,
like percentages now. So they can say we want
yeah,
a like, 7%,
yeah.
8%, that kind of thing. So it's slightly
I mean,
different. I feel like it's a bit
ever
creepier for
so
them to
slightly.
be like six black people, not 7, or like 20 Asian kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
It's like
that. No,
there's a
that's
difference.
true. I guess baby steps into a better change, but I'm thinking like what about like legacy admissions, and people who get in because of donations? Like, is that something that should be looked at? Is that like my dude, I don't want to expose too much. My brother goes to LMU, and he knows a person whose family donated, I think like $30,000 to USC, and he didn't get in. Like, before he had applied to USC, the family donated $30K, and he didn't get in. But still, that's like, if someone can just.
That's just sad, bro. Imagine
I
paying
mean,
like
yeah,
1 year worth of UC tuition and you don't even get in.
exactly. No, but it's but like, that's crazy, man. I mean, there are people out there who could just kind of buy their way into these universities because they do want money at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a complicated discussion that like isn't super fun to
Yeah,
talk
that's
about.
true. I think you had it right. I don't know if we're exactly qualified to talk about this, but
But I think it'll be interesting to see whenever the decision happens, which is probably going to be in the next 17 days ish, how it impacts us when we're applying, because we'll be the first group that it applies to, and you being the half Asian, half white experiment for admission. like because for you, right, is it, when you're applying, are you going to apply fully white, or are you going to apply like half white, half Asian?
I guess it depends on what happens, right? I mean, is half white. So if Asian Americans have a harder time getting into college, what does that mean for like half Asian people? I
It
don't
means
I don't
that
know the stats
depending on
on
how
that.
white you look, you can apply either as this or what you identify as. Right?
Yeah, I guess.
So like if you
I
can,
mean,
if you like some people who might be half might say that based on looks, because of that they might more identify as one race than the other. I know like Kamala Harris, I think which I'm kind of family friends with, really oddly enough, but like
Yeah.
she's half African American, half Indian, but she identifies much more with the African American side because that's kind of how she's been perceived. She obviously
Yeah.
like being Indian is a big part of her, but in her public image, whenever she speaks, because that's the way that she's been viewed, that's kind of how she primarily identifies herself. So it's a person to person thing, and it's something that like I can't tell you.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a damn, man. It doesn't really like affect me a lot, but I don't know. There's a lot of there's a lot of I guess baggage with non-biracial people telling me if I'm biracial or not. I have a lot of people who be like, "Oh, you're white. You're not even Asian," and it's like they're not half white. They're not biracial. It's like, why are they the decider, right? But I guess I guess I just have to say. I mean, yeah, physically I'm more white, so I guess like you said, outwardly I definitely identify more with the white side. But I think there's aspects of being both.
No shoes in the house still, right?
Yeah, no shoes in the house.
Okay, thank God. People who wear shoes in the house are crazy.
Respect your parents, that kind of thing. I know some people, some fellow white people who are kind of crazy with it, but it's I guess it's just a culture thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I feel like sort of accepting my 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 racial identity. I don't want to sound too deep, but like, it's not really something I considered until recently. Because for a lot of my life, I was like, oh, I look white, so I'm just white. I don't even want to be Asian. I just want to be white because I just look white. But I think it was only till recently that I was kind of appreciating, that kind of side to me. And, it's like, it is what it is. I don't think race defines somebody at all. But, being able to accept certain, cultural aspects and look at it from different perspectives, I don't know. I mean, I know you're fully Indian. You are fluent. Are you fluent in Hindi? I mean,
okay, saying I'm fluent in Hindi is a bit of a stretch.
Okay, you can at least you can host a conversation.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. So there's like a lot of Indian languages. The one my the language my family primarily speaks is Kutchi and Gujarati. So I'm fluent in Kutchi, like 50% in Gujarati. Hindi I can understand a movie and like I can understand a conversation. I'm kind of bad at speaking it, but yeah, I will definitely agree with you. Like it's an important part of me, right? And it's like,
yeah.
For example, 7th grade. I remember I walked into like my math class. I saw 2 Indian kids. I sat down. It's been 5 years, and we're like some of the closest friends ever. So it's I'll say it's helped out. Right?
Yeah, man. Damn though, but as someone who's like, you lived in India, right?
No, that Krish did. And JD was born in India. I did not live in India.
I'm not racist.
Rishi
I'm not
lived
racist
in India.
For saying that. Okay, you were born here. You were born in Anaheim.
I was born. Yeah. Wait,
but like,
what did I tell you? I was born in Anaheim.
I just know, man. Don't worry about it. And like I just I don't know. Somewhat. I feel like you're very closely tied to your heritage, but you're still living in America. So I don't know how does that feel? I mean, I've never really had it because
No, the one thing that's like odd about it is I'm like all my extended family and cousins don't live in the U.S. Like all of them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So I'm not really. I have some like my mom's cousins' kids who live in Connecticut. And like I went there to visit. I went to visit them like over New York, over the summer to like New York and stuff. And we got really close. But like even with like my first cousins and stuff, I've never been super close to them because I mean I see them in person. I used to see them like once every 2 years, but because of COVID and everything, it's been like 5 maybe since I've been to India.
Yeah. It's. I mean that's kind of. I feel like my mom immigrated here in the 80s, and she didn't visit for 40 years until we went back, or almost 40 years. We went back this past winter, and it was, I don't know, she was seeing family she hadn't seen in a while. Obviously, they come to America, but, still. And it's, I don't think I could ever imagine that, man. It's a totally different lifestyle, But yeah, bro. I don't know how it is with you guys, but like her family, her entire like dad side of the family just beefing with each other. Like we were there for 2 weeks, and it took us all 2 of those weeks to meet with one set of siblings because they just hate each other. So we couldn't be at the same dinner with them.
I feel like on my side, like they're everyone's really closely tied. I think like everyone, like there's obviously like disagreements, there's going to be no matter what. Like I've heard like arguments on phone calls and stuff, but I think at its core, like I think like my family's very like family first kind of thing. Like no argument or anything should pass that. And
yeah,
the one thing that I think like my parents were really big on, like my mom, okay, let me try and get the English words. Okay, so my grandpa on my mom's side and my great uncle, they ran a business together, and sometimes they'd have like some pretty big disagreements, and they bought like a massive house in India, and like my mom lived with all her cousins and stuff. It's like 10-bedroom house. It was like really big family, right? So whenever they were having any like big spats or any like big disagreements, like really massive ones about the business, I think my mom said that like they could eat, like, you visibly see that they're arguing, but if like my mom said anything bad about my uncle, my grandpa would get incredibly angry at her. Because it's like, even if those two are disagreeing, you'd never disrespect them kind of thing. Or show that. So I think like that's the mindset where like it obviously happens, but there's like a limit to it. I don't know how to describe it.
There's a lot of like seniority rules kind of thing in that
Sort
culture,
of.
you know. In Korea, it's a lot of you give a lot of reverence to people who are older than you. You know, you kind of got all these honorific ways. I've been out of Korean class for like a year, so kind of miss a lot of that. But you know, I know it exists. God, best decision I ever made.
Dropping Korean.
Dropping that class. Yeah, no hate to the teacher, but wasn't for me. Wasn't for me.
That's
I'm
fair.
probably gonna make an effort to learn it and get good at the language on my own. But I don't know. I think having that class wasn't a suitable learning environment for me. That's what I'll say.
That's fair. Why are we on such heavy topics? I don't know. Let's do something more light. No, but
Yeah, man. You got.
going back to
No,
like,
go ahead.
the junior year stuff. It was like
Yeah,
for me,
sure.
I don't know how to describe it. But like first semester feels so long ago. Like it feels like last year.
God, dude. Yeah, man. I feel like I've been 16 for 3 years, bro. It's just. God, so much has happened, right? Yeah, but no. I know exactly what you mean. Know exactly what you mean. It's just felt like such a long time. But and summer's gonna go by fast too. So right back into it.
Feels crazy. Did you watch Spiderman yet? We're recording this like June 13th, so it's still fairly fresh.
We watched it together.
Yeah, we did. I'm stupid. My bad. Yeah, we ate food too, bro.
We were sitting next to each other, bro.
Yes, we were. That ending is very. It's great. I don't want to say any spoilers, but I will say it was. I was not expecting the ending.
Yeah, man. I mean, I didn't know that the next movie's gonna come out so soon.
Yeah,
So,
well, they took last one came out like 2018. This one came out 2023.
2018, really? Damn. So long. I thought it was 2018. God. But man, you see it, bro. I think that's probably the best animated movie I've ever seen, or most well animated movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, I agree.
The art styles of everything and how everything moved. It was so cool. I mean,
Okay,
you know.
so do you remember the scene in the movie where this isn't really a spoiler, but there's a scene in the movie where it goes into like fully Lego form, like if you've ever seen like the Lego movie.
Oh
like,
yeah,
animation.
yeah. I heard the story about that. Yeah,
Yeah, and then there was like apparently it was animated by like some 14-year-old kid because on YouTube he made an animation, like a fake like a version of the trailer basically of the initial like Spider-Man movie, and so they just asked him to animate like 29 seconds. And it's like really funny. Like imagine putting that on like your like resume, right? Like,
that's a great stat. Animator on Marvel film, man. It was a great sequence. But you could tell, man, it was they definitely took all, 5 of those years to make this the best looking product that they could put out. You know, me personally, I think the story was great. I don't want to meat ride it too hard, but you know, I think all the characters were really good. Everything was pretty well done. You know, I don't see a lot of, I don't see a lot of negatives in it. You know, I think it's just all around just a really good movie.
Yeah, same opinion, honestly.
Yeah,
I thought like
I mean,
the Metro album that came with it was super good.
dude, I haven't listened to them, man. They had that one song in the movie, but no, but yeah, man. No, I'll give it a listen. It's you know, but yeah, I mean, he was in the movie. You know, he had a cameo.
Yeah, so did
Metro,
Post Malone,
yeah.
I think.
They reused a line from the first one, but
it's a Banksy or something.
still counts. Yeah, still counts. God, and you know the next one's coming out so soon, so I don't think a lot of people can complain too much. I'd rather have them take as much time as they need to put out an even better product than what they would have had. But I guess props to them.
Yeah. I would say the one thing that was kind of interesting to me, like towards the end of junior year, was seeing like some of the friend groups start to disappear. I think I like talked about this when we were like first
Oh
making
yeah.
the podcast a bit more, right? But like it was really interesting because I it might have to do with the fact that like we were online freshman year, so like the friend groups that like going into sophomore year and stuff were like a lot of the people we hung out with in like the eighth grade and all that, with it melting a
Yeah.
tiny bit more. But it was kind of odd like the last like 2 months of like junior yearish, like around once AP exams ended and stuff, like everyone started talking to each other and it was really odd. Like I think it's a good thing, right? Like like the cliques are kind of like starting to disappear where it's like
Yeah, you know,
very
the
small groups.
walls are coming down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
And you know,
no, you're good.
yeah. I guess you know, now that we're out of COVID and you can do all these extracurriculars now, it's like you meet so many more people you would have never interacted with previous if you're just online. You know, I think being online was probably, you know, it was obviously necessary. Um, but you know, just being able to be back. This is God. We're talking about coming back after COVID in 2023. It feels like, dude. No, but I think yeah.
Well, I think
Hey,
we're
what were
talking
you
about
saying?
it
I didn't mean to
because
cut you off.
it's no, it's like the thing with the friend groups like disappearing and stuff. I mean, it's valid because it kind of stems from that. But I think
Yeah,
what's interesting about it is that because our grade in the past has been so like click oriented, I feel for like certain groups of people, a lot of times like I just haven't interacted with a lot of other people or like made a lot of other friends besides maybe the guys I've known or people who hang out with, people I know, or I don't know, stuff from like extracurriculars and all of that, where
yeah,
you end up having so many similarities and like it turns out you can be like really close with other people, but you just aren't because of the way like high school set up. Like a lot of like the drama and stuff that happens and like everything, like it's like only in high school can this crap happen.
yeah. I know. Well, because it's kind of like it's like its own little microcosm. You know, sort of everybody's in the same building for 4 years, and you know something happens. You got to see that person until you're 18. You can't avoid them really. So I don't know. A lot of things fester, I guess. You know, you
Yeah.
can't
Well,
just kind of forget about someone. They're always
I think
there.
like high school and college is probably like the last place where you have to show up every day and you have to see the same group of people and you're kind of
That's
forced to
true.
interact with them whether you want to or not based on the classes you're in. You're forced to see them in a way versus like once you get out of college and like are in a bit more of a working environment, I feel like friendships are less motivated by I don't know anyone, I just want to meet people, and it's more of how can I get to a better place in my workplace environment, or how can I maybe I don't know, like climb the social ladder, or like I feel like there's other things people are thinking about when making friendships versus
Yeah, man.
beginning of high school and like even like start of college maybe. I feel like it's a lot more like innocent oriented. I don't know how to describe it. Where you're just making friends to
Yeah,
make
no.
friends.
Yeah, I no, I know exactly what you mean. You know, I feel like a lot of my friends either introduced mutually or just they were just kind of there, so I talked to them. Um, and you know, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. You know, when you're in high school, it's great to be able to expand your group. But yeah, I mean, you still have to see if you're working in like an office, you got to see the same people every day. It does depend on your profession, but you know, making friends is a whole different thing. You're not really obligated to have friends at your place of work, like you are at high school. So yeah,
I don't know. I think it was
what
just
you got over
interesting
there,
to
man?
me. Oh, this what he's referring to is in my hand. I'm playing with like a little origami thing. But I think the reason I bring it up is because I'm really curious to see what it ends up being senior year with everyone starting
Oh
to interact a
yeah,
bit more and like the cliques starting to disappear. Because this year it felt like
and
the senior class was like one big friend group, oddly enough.
yeah, I feel like they all kind of knew each other, right? Like they were all this person was close with this person. They all knew this person. So yeah, maybe at that point everything just dissolves and you're just kind of this one society.
Society.
But we'll have to wait and see, bro. We'll have to wait and see. 3 more months, and we'll get our answer. But yeah, I mean, a lot of things to look forward to. We've been going for about 40 minutes. You want to call it?
Yeah, I
Anything else
think.
you want to talk about,
Or wait, actually, I think there's one more thing we can talk about, and then
yeah, sure, go
I'll
ahead.
line up. Remember, I think like 2 days ago, I think we were talking about this earlier. The Weekend made a TV show.
Oh yeah, dude. I heard about that. Is that So have you seen it?
I watched like 5 minutes of it. Then I decided I should. Then I like was like I should not be watching this show. After watching it for like 2 minutes, it's called The
In what
Idol.
way?
It's just like, bro, I felt like so weird sitting here as like a 17-year-old guy just like watching the show for like the first opening like 2 minutes. Like I don't know how to describe it. It's like worse than like it's filmed in the same way as like Euphoria and like those kind of shows if you've seen it. And it's by
Ooh.
HBO, and
Yeah.
it's I don't know how to describe the way it's framed, but right now on Rotten Tomatoes it has 27%.
Yeah, I'm looking at a Variety headline and it just says The Idol is about the quest for perfection. Why is it so flawed? Um I don't know, man. Maybe we shouldn't be giving TV shows to people when there's a writers strike going on right now. I feel like this kind of thing happens, but I mean, this was probably filmed obviously before that, but
Oh yeah, the
you
writer's
know,
strike with everything. It's all like the late night people, right?
what?
The for the writer's strike.
Oh, no, it's all writers across Hollywood, where it's wherever. So, TV, movie, and then talk show and reality shows. All those writers are going off, and a lot of it is pay. A lot of it is how these things are working. The current system is really flawed about how they just kind of use these writers. They don't give them the credit that they deserve. They don't pay them enough. Like oftentimes, I feel like so people think that writing for a TV show is you get in a writer's room, you do your job, and then you're done. You just go home, and then the TV goes on with principal photography, and the writers are only in that first pre-production half. But they're on set a lot of times. Sometimes you get to set and it's like it's not some. My mom would talk to me about this because she used to work in that. But you get to send the writers have to change things, and they gotta be there for the entire shoot to say this joke didn't land or this dialogue doesn't sound right coming out of that actor's mouth. So their job is way more than just being in a writer's room, and they're not getting paid enough. And then another thing is the AI. Their main focus is that they don't want Chat GPT writing first drafts, because I know a lot of just students who do that, where they Chat GPT writes their first draft and then they give it their own touch so it doesn't sound so robotic. And then writers don't want that because that takes out a portion of their job, and they're getting paid even less. And I don't know if God, I'm not educated enough on AI to know if it'll ever be good enough to write as well as humans do, especially since it's just copying everything right now. But I don't know. I feel like you could probably speak to that more. I don't know. You seem like you have a broader knowledge on that kind of topic.
So like I think the head of AI at Google stepped down because he thought we were moving too fast into it. And the idea is that I think AI will likely be able to write better than humans at some point, very near. But the whole like, I think going back to like the writer's strike, it it's completely valid. I think in that sense, right? With like the like, thinking about their perspective on the AI thing, because if you have because think of TV shows like something that's super long off the top of my head is like Arrow, right? That's a show that ran for 9 seasons or something, and each season had 22 episodes that was 44 minutes long. How many minutes of dialogue is that per one season, right? And
Yeah.
it's I don't know like the frequency which they're and how many writers there are obviously, but the amount of writing that needs to take place in order for that show to happen. Even something like Game of Thrones, right? With like set design and everything needs to be like taken into account beforehand and actually having a good story. Like it's if
Yeah.
the amount those guys work and probably are paid, and if you're telling them to we're gonna let you work less, but we're even gonna pay you maybe a quarter of what you're already being given. I feel like that might be where the strike is stemming from, like from the AI perspective.
Yeah. Um But man, bro, dude, I don't want AI to replace human art. You know, there's a moral thing because right now it's not creating anything original. It's just stealing or compiling different artists' work. But yeah, is there a world where AI starts to create its own thing, its own image generation?
Well, the thing is, right now it is. So what it's doing is that the dilemma is that AI art generators and all that stuff are trained on like these massive
Yeah,
file data structures, and these data structures are compiled of other people's art, and those people did not necessarily give permission.
yeah,
So there's there's a big difference between parody and copying, or a shoot, what's it called when you make, or counterfeit. So counterfeit versus parody, right? A counterfeit is something that's the exact same. It's if you're someone's making like a counterfeit Supreme shirt, right? The exact
yeah.
same font, the exact same look. You're trying to replicate the original. Versus parody, make something in the exact same style but is different, and making fun of that style, for example. So
Yeah.
what AI art is doing right now is a parody of normal art because it's been trained on all of these normal items. So when you go to, I mean, there's a lot of AI art generators. There's Dolly 2, which is made by OpenAI, so same company as ChatGPT. And the best one out
Yeah.
is something called Midjourney, and it uses Discord, funnily enough, where you basically describe an image in detail, and it'll create 4 images for you, and you can pick one of them, and it'll increase high definition. You can even give it a photo of you, just a normal photo, and it'll turn it into any style you want. So there's a word, if you use the keyword Niji, Nigi, or Niji, sorry, after you give it any kind of image, it will turn that image into an anime style very well. So I could give it a
Dang.
photo of you, and it'll make an anime profile picture that looks exactly like you.
Damn.
Right? So
Bro,
that's completely original, right? Like no one else has made
yeah.
that. But it does
Yeah.
that by being trained on the art written by anime creators for the past 25 years. And those people
Yeah.
did not necessarily give permission for the company to train their models on their artwork. So that's where like there's a big lawsuit going on right now. So I think
Didn't
that's what
that
like
yeah, I saw the CEO of OpenAI at a congressional hearing, and he kind of acknowledged that the technology does need regulations, and then Congress has to enact that. But so I think everybody is conscious that there's got to be some limitations on this. You know, I don't. Is it moral to just kind of let this run free?
but
And with
what's really interesting, I agree with you, is it more to let it run free? Is that there's some things right now AI art sucks at.
oh
So
yeah,
the
like
example,
hands, right?
hands are incredibly hard because these AI models are trained to replicate, right? So it's trained on
Yeah,
someone else's artwork, and it'll try and replicate what it looks like. But hands are incredibly hard to replicate because of the range of movement your hands are able to move in. In order for someone like an artist to be able to accurately draw a hand, they have to have an understanding of like the anatomy of a hand, like properly. Of this is where the knuckle is, this is where it moves. If your finger is bent, this is why. And an AI
yeah.
model doesn't know that. So like there's like a couple
Dang.
tests that you're able to do with like any kind of art image to check if it's AI right now. But I think what's scary is that it's slowly getting better, and once it
Yeah,
disappears, where's the dilemma going to be there? Because right now, anytime AI shoots out an image, if someone has 8 fingers, which is a lot more common than you'd think for like these image generators, someone has eight fingers, you immediately know that, oh, this is AI. And even then, I feel like most AI images right now have a look. But I think what you're talking about, which is insane, extremely valid, of what happens when there's a shift there and you're not able to tell anymore.
yeah, man. There was this big I was a couple years back that I forget who, but this actor who was kind of getting close to death. Um, he basically got an offer, like a multi-billion-dollar offer by this studio, for them to capture every likeness of him. So everything about his body, his voice, so they could recreate a digital simulation of that person, so they could use him in movies after he was dead. And that's insane. Like, he denied it, but he turned down the offer. But like, come on, bro, is that is that right to have? I mean, I get to like imagine just being able to see any actor in any movie at any point. And it's not just like, imagine somebody, makes like a video of like a politician saying the N-word, and it's like, you can't even tell anymore.
Well, have you listened to like the AI raps and stuff now? Like the
I've not.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, like there's the Drake song that
there's
someone
an
made.
AI Drake song. There was an AI Kanye song that like sounds the exact
Yeah.
same. And have you seen any of the TikToks of like the AI ones of like Trump and Biden, where
Playing Minecraft? Yeah.
So people have like already gotten like fairly good at it, and right now you can tell if it's AI or not. But it's like, if you listen to some of the songs of artists, it's surprisingly good. So
Yeah.
I think this is a whole nother topic we can delve into maybe next time. But like, it's a massive kind of like hole to look at. And I think like when ChatGPT came out, whatever, like December of like early second semester this year, there was a shift in how we approach school. And like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't want to say anything about how I used it, but I I don't think. I mean, if you look at what ChatGPT said, it's very there's no personality. Nobody can just kind of copy it verbatim of what ChatGPT is giving you, and make it sound real. But people do use it to make a first draft.
I remember when it first came out, like there was like no limits on what it could do, and eventually, as people started to ask it crazy things, it was locking out. So when ChatGPT first came out, you could ask it how to cook meth, and it'd give you the
I saw a TikTok of a guy. Who got it to tell him how to make a bomb, and it's just like, man.
Yeah, when it first came out, I asked it to write me a story about an AI that takes over the world, and it did.
Yeah. Oh, dude, did you see that thing? I don't know what AI it was, but they had an AI. They challenged this AI to accomplish this task, and the AI got to a CAPTCHA where it's like, it's like a checkpoint, is this human? And then what it did was it went to a site where you could pay people to do like small tasks for you, and then it bought someone's labor to go and do the CAPTCHA for them. Yeah, and then in the chat, like the person who was doing it for the robot was like jokingly just like, hey, you're not doing this because you're a robot, right? And then the AI said, no, I just can't see very well. So you need to, yeah, dude, that's like, yeah, it's pretty weird,
Terminator.
Yeah, I don't know. Everything changes, I guess. But yeah, man, we've been going about almost an hour now. So
yeah,
I think now's a good time to call it.
Interesting place to call it, but yeah.
Yeah, interesting place to leave off of, but appreciate the time. I think this covers us for probably the next like 6 months or so.
Yeah,
we'll be good. But
imagine,
man, I forgot the socials. Maybe we'll just put them in the description or something. But
yeah, we'll put them in the end card. And then I hope you guys enjoyed the new art by Claire. It was very good. It's not new art, by the way. She drew these photos maybe 8 months ago, and we kind of got lazy. But hey, we're back. Yeah. We're back now. But okay, stop, bro. Why the address? Why the address drop?
Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Appreciate it. Good night, and I love you.
Love you too.